Kirsten. Well, at every stage in our adult life, one question always seems to be at top of mind. When can I retire? Well, Melanie Hasty-Grant of Waterstone Private Wealth Management is here to explain what you can do to prepare, and no matter what age you are. So welcome, first of all.
Thank you.
Tell us a few things what we can do.
Okay. Well, years ago, an article came out that said you needed $1 million to retire. So I'd have clients coming in saying, hey, I hear I need $1 million. But actually, it's really more to do with what your income is and what your expenses are.
Okay.
So to calculate it out easily, what you would do to calculate it from today's numbers, you would look at how much your current income is today, and what you think your income will be in retirement. So if you think that you'll be getting Social Security, or you believe that you're going to be getting a pension, you would want to add those together, and that will be your income number.
Okay.
As far as for your expense number, so you would look at what your numbers are today and what your budget is. You would add together your mortgage, let's say, your electric, your food. You don't want to forget food. It's the most
Absolutely.
It's the most common. It's actually the most common item left off when I have people bring in budgets.
And if you go out a lot too.
Yeah. So you do have to eat. So don't forget the food. And so you want to look at what all of your expenses are. And then, you'll subtract out some of those expenses because in retirement you may not have your mortgage.
Hopefully
not.
I can only hope.
Hopefully you won't have your kids living at home in your basement. So you can take off some of those expenses, but then you want to also add back in health care, because your health care will probably be more. So then in order to calculate what your income gap is, you would take what those expenses are and you would subtract out what your expected income is, and that's going to leave you with your income gap.
Okay, yeah. Where does that come into play? Explain that for me.
So your income gap is what you have to save yourself in your 401ks and your IRAs and outside, brokerage accounts in order to make up that income gap once you get into retirement. So it's definitely a target number that you want to aim for, making sure that you have enough saved.
And you like to use 25 years as an example, correct?
That's exactly right.
So I'm not too late yet, huh? No.
Nope, you're not too late. You're not too late. So if you took, for example, if it sounds confusing, if you added up all your expenses and it was $4,000 a month, and then you subtracted out what you think you'll have in Social Security and pension, and that was $2,500 a month, well then your monthly shortage is $1,500, and you would $1,500 a month, which we would calculate out by a year, and that would mean $18,000 would be your income gap.
Okay.
And then you would take your income gap, multiply that by that 25 years, and that lets you live till 90 years old if you didn't retire until 65.
Sure.
And that's the amount you have to come up with, $450,000 in your retirement savings, so your 401ks and your IRAs, between now and the time you retire.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming in.
You're welcome.
Melanie Hasty-Grant of Waterstone Private Wealth Management. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Tanaya.